Hey, good morning, everybody. So last week I was teaching my first session of an AI certificate program, and it went really well. But I'm going to tell you something that I think was really interesting that came from this session was uh, some even realities that I'm getting from while creating this AI certificate all the way to starting to teach it and having conversations with my fellow AI folks along the world here. And we keep talking about prompt engineering, and I do believe prompt engineering is extremely important, but I'm going to tell you, I'm starting to realize it is mostly about the systems these days. It is mostly going to be about what you have to do, the tasks at hand, the skills you need to have, the job that's supposed to be done. Like, we teach a lot of people these days about prompt engineering and take on the persona of this or do that. And I love my road framework that I use to teach people on how to build proper prompts. But I think there's a bigger concern, a bigger issue that happens with AI these days. And it's mostly going to be because workflows are becoming extremely important and timing is going to become extremely important. So doing some of the pre-work ahead of time is critically important for us. It's going to be one of these things where we need to make sure that we are knowing, maybe not fully, but as much as fully as we possibly can, the AI steps necessary to accomplish whatever we're trying to have AI do. By the way, the trick to all of this is it means we need to have systems. We need to have systems already in place, because if we can put those systems into some sort of AI LLM tool, then you are going to have a much better process, a much better workflow, a much better quote unquote assistant that I keep telling you need to have with your AI. So the reason I say this is I'm starting to realize you just can't write a prompt. Like, I've been teaching this for a little bit of time, and people that talk about writing better prompts, they get better about it all the time. But I do think now that while that's working, the systems are extremely important. And thank you all for showing up here to the session. If you have questions, put them out there. Happy to talk to you. Hey, Desert. Hey, Das. Happy to see you here. We're talking AI. But I'm going to tell you, it's really about those systems in place that really make it happen for us. So let me ask you, what do you think a system is? What is that it looks for you out there? To me, systems aren't really expensive softwares. All softwares have systems. They have already built-in models. Someone already established those models in place and implemented them into a software, into something that we're spending a lot of money on. But that's not a system. That's a tool implementing your systems. All of us have systems every day. How we get up in the morning, how we get to work, what we do at work. We have them. Some are great, some aren't so great. And we need to work on those. Other examples are going to be, how do you prepare for a buyer's consultations? How do you respond to a new lead? How do you review your week? These are all systems. These are all things that we are in place in here. So my name is Justin Letheby. Hello, Das. Hope you're doing well. And one of the things that I want to make sure that we're thinking about is how do we manage these systems? I'm going to give you a couple examples that I do right now just to help you understand what's going on. One of the things that I do is I have what I call an email triage. Every morning it goes into my email and identifies and organizes my email, things that I need to respond to, things that I need to look at a later date, things that I need to be urgent and do that. But here's the trick. If I decide what's urgent, have I told the system what urgent is? What does that look like to me? What does that mean? What requires my most immediate attention in my email thread? That way I don't have to go through and look at all those emails that don't make any sense to me anymore. We're getting killed with emails. Now I can go and look at those. But I don't want to ignore some of the newsletters that I've signed up for, because I get extreme value out of them. I don't want to miss some of the other organizations that reach out and send stuff to me, because that's also important to me, but it does not require immediate attention. So what I did is I identified how I look at my emails. I walked through it. I walked through the system. I used a tool called Whisper to come in here and talk about it into my AI. And we worked it out, and we created a system that's in place that now goes through and every morning marks urgent, and everything that's marked urgent comes through and goes into my drafts. Thank you. Everything that goes in there goes into my drafts. And so I don't let it send it for me, but I do read it and make sure it's there. And now instead of going in and looking at all my emails, I look at my draft first. My drafts tell me what I need to pay attention to, what I don't need to pay attention to, and I'm missing less business. Another way I'm looking at this right now is I'm putting it in my calendar every week. I'm testing the workflow out now, but I am looking at the calendar system, and it's helping me come in and prepare for meetings, knowing what my schedule looks like, but also scheduling time. So when I need to be working on my projects, I have time to do that. It's also identifying build time, travel time, stuff like that. But the follow-up is extremely important. The last thing that I'm doing right now is on a weekly basis, I'm doing kind of going along the follow-up. I have a follow-up system in here. So every time I get a new business lead, a new conversation, it comes in here, it tracks that out. It lets me know what I need to be paying attention to and keeps me informed. And if it needs to, it'll put something in my calendar for follow-up or whatever, so I know that's what I need to be doing at that particular point. But these are the systems that I'm talking about, right? I couldn't just write, hey, do this, because it won't know enough about that. It won't know enough to make this happen and work a little bit easier for me. But it does know enough now, and I have built the system strong enough now that you're there, and it is working for me. So here's the thing I want to kind of end next. We're getting towards the time. These are always weekly quick hitters. For those of you who are signing up, thank you for being there. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate that. These are quick hitters, things that you can take value, quick items in place that come out. Now, I will tell you, here's what I've kind of learned from this. I think right now we are still focusing on prompts, and that's great. And I think we're always going to focus on prompts. But I think before you focus on the prompts, you need to figure out your systems. That way, when you have the systems, you can prompt properly to identify the goal, the process, the decisions that are being made, the quality control, and the human judgment that needs to be put in place in any AI tool you're using today, because that's extremely important for you. So when you have all in there, now you can build a great prompt that has a good system in place. A great prompt inside a bad system is still going to get you inconsistent results. So let's work on that. So here's what I want you to work on this week. Spend some time. Think about the systems. Think about that one big task that you need to get done that takes time every day. It's important, but something that really doesn't need your day-to-day thing, but it has to be done. Think about all the steps it takes to get it done. Think about what it does, what the goals are, what the decisions you make, what the outcomes you're looking for, and where you need to interact in that system. Then when you're doing this, now you can come in and build that system in your favorite AI tool. It really doesn't matter. I know people are always going to ask which AI tool. Doesn't really matter. I mean, it could, but it really doesn't matter. So now when you have this in place, you can do it. Now, here's the trick I'm going to do. Once you write all the systems down, write it in there, put in the AI, and ask how you can improve it. And if you agree with it, then add it in there. Otherwise, leave your systems alone, put it in place. So the last thing I'm going to leave you with here is the one thing I've learned while building this certificate course is that AI doesn't replace thinking. It rewards clearer thinking. This is the way professionals are getting the most out of AI with using prompts, not magic prompts, just using good systematic prompts. It's getting you more consistent and it's getting us more efficient every day. Think about your systems, think about what you do, understand your processes, and let's move forward. I hope you all are having a great day. Go take on the business, go make yourself some money, and we will see you next session. Now, I will tell you, if you have, do like some of the folks here today did, subscribe. I appreciate all of that in place for wherever you're at. And tell me in the comments, tell me wherever you're at, tell me what systems you need fixing or how you are implementing AI systematically. I'd love to hear it. We'll see you next week.